Good morning to you all. I am Lieutenant Meenakshi K, Head of the Department of Zoology, Saint Philomena College, Puttur. Now I would like to take the zoology practical session for BSc second semester students. I dissect and display the heart and efferent branchial arteries of a shark. Before we start our dissection, we must know the morphological characters of the particular animal. So here we take shark or a scoliodon for our study. This shark is a very important fish. It is edible and its geographical distribution is very vast. It is found in our Indian Ocean and also in Eastern Pacific Ocean. It is a marine cartilaginous fish. Commercially, it is very important. It is edible, and also the skin of this fish is used for polishing shoes and metals, etc. More than that, this is a very good experimental material for anatomical studies. Almost all type of systems, then cranials, etc. are studied after taking this specimen. Now the body of this fish is a spindle shaped. So this is good adaptation of this fish to carry out its life in water medium. Body is streamlined or a spindle shaped. The body is divided into anterior head, medulla, trunk region from here to here, and the tail. Okay. Then the entire body surface is covered by means of placoid scales. When you pass your hand from and posterior to anterior side, you feel roughness. It is mainly because of the placoid scales present in the skin region. Okay. Now we'll come to the head region. Head is very important here. Head is dorsoventrally flattened. Here it is dorsoventrally flattened, and the anterior portion is projected as a snout, and a pair of eyes and a pair of nostrils are present, and in the ventral side there is crescent shaped mouth or a C-shaped mouth. This is most important identification of cartilaginous fishes. In bony fishes, this mouth is located in the anterior most region like this, but here it is ventral in position. Okay. Then in the head region, here this is the pharyngeal region where you can see 5 pairs of gill slits, gill openings here. 5 pairs of gill openings are present. So on either side, here also 5, here also 5. So 5 pairs of gill openings are present. Okay, in the trunk region. So trunk is characteristic. Trunk is having the locomotory organs. They are fins. So this is the unpaired fin, first dorsal fin. This is the second dorsal fin, and this is the anal fin. These fins are unpaired fins. And in the ventrolateral side, there is a pair of pectorals in the anterior region just behind the last gill opening. And there are 2 pelvic fins on the side of the cloacal opening. So this is the opening, it's a common opening for digestive system and the reproductive system. Okay. Now come to the tail. Tail is heterocercal. Tail has got 2 lobes, upper lobe and lower lobe. Upper lobe is very lengthy and lower lobe is a smaller one. That is why it is called heterocercal. Here it is entirely covered by means of a caudal fin. So this is caudal fin. Okay, like this way, fins are locomotory organs which are paired and unpaired fins are present. Now let us move to our dissection part. We are going to learn the heart and the efferent branchial arteries of a shark. So the dissection should be done always from the ventral side, but not from the dorsal side, because the dorsal side there is a vertebral column and also the nerve, dorsal nerve cord is available. So that is why you have to do your dissection from the ventral side to see the any anatomical part. Okay. For this dissection, you have to hold the animal in such a way that the ventral side faces upward. Okay. Then insert the scissor through the mouth and cut open the gill cleft here, like this. Okay. So you put your incision up to the pectoral fins, then cut transversely, give one more cutting transversely just below the pectoral fins, and thus you open the pharyngeal region, because your required parts are available in the buccopharyngeal region. Now pin the animal firmly in the dissecting dish containing clean water. Fix the animal properly by the help of pins. Pin it obliquely but not vertically, so that it never obscure your dissection. Stretch the animal and pin it. Put one more pin over the pectoral pin. Remove the unwanted things available here. remove the muscle, mucous membrane and muscle, and expose pericardial membrane which encloses heart, like this way. Cut open it, the pharyngeal region. This is the pharyngeal region. Carefully remove the membrane. So now you can see the pericardial cavity in which heart is lodged. So this is the pericardial cavity in which heart is lodged. So this heart is exposed now. So what you see here, the dorsal side, this is our atrium. From the ventral side of the heart, arising conus arteriosus, that is actually from the ventricle. From the ventricle arises conus arteriosus. You can see here the conus arterios properly. This is conus arterios, the part of a heart. And conus arteriosus continued forward up to the level of the hyoidin arch. As a ventral aorta. So ventral aorta is continued up to the hyoidine apparatus. At anteriormost region of the ventral aorta once again divides into two branches that you can see here. So pin it properly. So at the anteriormost region, it divides into two branches. You can see here the branch. Remove this membrane, this the muzzle, and open it. So this is what you call innominate artery. Again, this innominate artery divides into two branches. The first innominate artery and the second first branchial artery and second branchial artery. You can see here the first branchial artery So here the first branchial artery get into the hyoidine demibranch. You can see hyoidine demibranch. This is hyoidine demibranch. So here only one horizontal set of gill lamellae are present. That is why it is called demibranch. So the artery you can see here, it is running like this. You see, the artery is running. So here, this first branchial artery subdivides into branches and ended as a capillary network, and gives impure blood to the gill lamellae for purification. This one you can see here. So it's clear now. The second branchial artery enter into second gill pouch. Lamella of the second gill pouch. So here the gill lamellae are well protected by means of gill rays. That is, here you see these are the gill arches. So it is now it is clear. See, this is the nicely you can see. See, this is second branchial artery. Now it's very clear. Second branchial artery. So carefully you have to remove, because all blood vessels are very delicate. Nerves and blood vessels are very delicate. So you have to take much care when you remove the muscles which are having connection with the parts and connective tissues. So connective tissues, you are removing both muscles and connective tissues and exposing the required parts. So now it is very clear. This is the first one. This is the second branchial artery. This is the innominate artery. So you have to do like this way on both the sides. Now you can see here. See, it is clearly shown. See here. This is the fifth pair of branchial arteries. They are actually arising from the dorsal side of the ventral aorta, dorsal side. So this is the fourth, this is the third. So this is a second, this is first. So here you see the last three. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, first, second and third branchial branchial arteries arising equidistantly from the ventral aorta. You can see here, and you will trace it properly. So this side, I'll show here in this side. So this is the third one. Trace it. Now it is clear. So remove this cartilage so as to expose this blood vessel, and this blood vessel is supplying blood to this gill lamellae. Cut this cartilage. then make it free. Now it is very clear. Okay, this is third one. So like this way you have to remove the gill arches so as to expose the blood vessel. See, here it is running. This is the third. This is the fourth one. This is fourth one. So carefully remove this. Remove the membrane first, then you remove the cartilage. Okay, trace it like this way. Okay, carefully remove the cartilage, the gill. Okay, trace it, make it free from the connective tissue. Okay, now it is exposed. So this is fourth one. So the last fifth one is here. Carefully remove the cartilage and muscle and expose this blood vessel. That is the fifth branchial artery arising from the posterior most part of the ventral aorta. Okay, remove the cartilage and muscle and make it free. Now it is nicely seen, well exposed. Okay. The second, one, see here, so this is innominate. Here it branches into two branches. So remove this. Okay, trace it, trace the blood vessel. Now it is very clear. Okay, like this way one after another on both sides. You have to remove the muscle, then connected tissues which are connected to the blood vessel should be removed. So this is the first branchial artery. So it is entering the first hyoidian demi branch. Why it is so called? Because only one horizontal set of gill lamellae are present here. That is why it's called hemibranch. So it's very clear now. See the blood vessel. You can see the gill lamellae here. So it ultimately branches into large number of small branches and ended with the capillary network supplying blood to the gill lamellae. So okay, now it is both the sides you have to do like this way. So here make it little bit clear. So this is the pericardial cavity. So here you can see the conus arteriosus and the fifth pair of branchial arteries. Okay, so now this is the heart which is lodged in the pericardial cavity, and the heart is dorso-ventrally bent tube. Okay, this is the dorsal side of heart. This is called atrium. This is here. This is the triangular structure here under this. Here, this is the triangular structure transversely arranged like this way. Okay, dorso to this is atrium. Then ventral side of this is the heart. Sorry, ventricle. Ventral side of this is a ventricle. What you see here, the prominent structure which is present in the pericardial cavity. This is the prominent structure, ventricle. So ventricle is connected to the conus arteriosus. So here ventricle is connected to the conus arteriosus. It's a muscular tube arising from the ventricle and running forward, and it is continued as ventral aorta, continued as ventral aorta. So you have now all the parts are well so here all the parts are well established and traced, all are well exposed. Now you have to put the black paper and display the parts concerned. So you have to put the black paper so as to display the parts. So ventral aorta. So from here to here you put the black paper, and like this way you have to put the black paper. Okay. So this is ventral aorta. So here this is conus arteriosus. So you have to put the black paper like this way. So this is what you call displaying. Okay. Then the anteriormost region, you see the innominate artery. This is innominate artery. So you put the black paper like this way and show the innominate artery. Then innominate artery divides into two branches as first branchial artery. So you see the first branchial artery, put the black paper below the first branchial artery. Just like that, you have to put the black paper here. So here you can see now the ventral aorta, from each arising five important efferent branchial arteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The anterior 4 branchial arteries, they are arising laterally from the ventral aorta. The posterior most one, the last fifth branchial artery, arising from the dorsal side of the aorta. So after putting all these things, it is well exposed part. Putting all these things, black papers like this way, display the arteries. So like this way, you put the black papers below the concerned branchial arteries and all known parts. So this is heart, which is lodged in the pericardial cavity, the dorsal side of the heart. It is called atrium, and another part here is the triangular, transversely it is also triangular, that is called sinus venosus. Here you see the sinus venosus. Then ventral side of the heart consisting of a ventricle. You can see the ventricle in the ventral side. Then from the ventricle arising conus arteriosus. So like this way, heart is well defined structure consisting of four important parts in shark: atrium, sinus venosus in the dorsal region, and the prominent structure present in the ventral side is called ventricle, and from the ventricle there is a conus arteriosus rises, and from the conus arteriosus arising ventral aorta, or conus arteriosus continued as a ventral aorta. So it gives five important efferent branchial arteries. So this ventral aorta continued forward and extending till the hyoidian arch or hyoid arch, where it bifurcates into two branches as innominate arteries. Each innominate artery, this side and that side, once again divided into first branchial artery that goes to the gill lamellae of a hyoidian demi-branch. Means there is only one set of gill lamellae are present here. So this is actually the gill pouch in which the gill lamellae are available. They are arranged in horizontal fashion, gill lamellae. Okay, so this is hyoidian demi-branch. So another one, that is the second branchial artery, enters into the second gill, and it is subdivided into capillary network ended at the gill lamellae. So this is third efferent branchial artery. This is arising from the lateral side of the ventral aorta and extending to up to the tip of the gill pouch, where it is divided into large number of small branches and giving blood to the gill lamellae. And last but not the least, this is the fifth one, this is the fourth one. This a pair of fourth branchial arteries which go to the fourth gill, again divided into small sub branches. So this is the fifth one. So fifth branchial artery enter into the fifth gill pouch or gill lamellae. Okay, like this way you can see 5 important branchial arteries, efferent branchial arteries rising from the ventral aorta. The first, second and third are rising laterally, and the last, the fifth one, rising from the dorsal side of the ventral aorta. So you can see the a pair of first branchial arteries, a pair of second branchial arteries, a pair of third branchial arteries, a pair of fourth branchial arteries, and a pair of fifth branchial arteries. So these are all so-called efferent branchial arteries. They play a very important role in carrying impure blood to the gills for oxygenation. And another set of the capillary network, after exchanging the oxygen and carbon dioxide, oxygenated blood is carried through the efferent branchial arteries. Here we cannot see this one because it is efferent branchial arteries only. So they carry impure blood to the gills for oxygenation. Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide taking place in the gill lamellae. Carbon dioxide is given out and oxygen is taken up by the membrane of gill lamellae. Thus, it's a very well established arterial system where the heart is the main organ of circulation. It is a dorso-ventrally bent tube consisting of atrium, sinus venosus, prominent ventricle, and conus arteriosus. So in exam, usually the question may be like this. So here the identify the flagged part of a given system. This is the question. If the question like this, then what you have to do, the flagged part may be shown like this way by putting the flag with the arrow mark like this way. So one like this. What you have to write? This is the atrium. Question is identify and explain the flagged part of a given system. You should write this is the heart of a shark. The given dissected system is efferent branchial arteries of a shark. The part which is flagged is atrium of a heart. This is your answer, and you have to explain it with the help of a diagram. So for example, another flag you can see here. The flag may be like this way shown. What you have to do, write for this? You must say this is first efferent branchial artery. First efferent branchial artery, not arteries, not shown too. That's why efferent branchial artery. So this is from the efferent branchial system of a scolioid. So you go through the diagram. When you start your dissection, always when you begin your dissection, you must use your theory knowledge. Unless you have the theory knowledge, you cannot expose any part. So you must understand where exactly the parts are located. You have dissected the pharyngeal region of shark, where the gills are present, and also inside the heart is located. You can go through the diagram here. How you have dissected the same picture, what you see. I have not shown at the beginning stage. Now I am showing you. So this diagram you must always have with you when you start your dissection. But if the diagram is only present is not sufficient, you must know what exactly the parts. You must be familiar with this part. Then it's easier for you to trace any part which is found here. Suppose if it is asked only the fifth branchial efferent branchial artery, you can go to here. No need of showing all these things also. Okay, dissect and display the efferent branchial artery of a scoliodon. So your answer is this one. You have to do the dissection and expose on the arteries and also display the parts after putting a black paper below the blood vessels or other necessary part like this way. Okay, here you can see the conus arteriosus, which is already shown before you. It is found at the base. Here, this is the conus arteriosus. So, heart is consisting of four important parts. It is a dorso-ventrally bent tube. This is a atrium. Here there is a sinus venosus here. It is a triangular. It is also triangular, and prominent ventricle is present here. Ventricle from which arises the conus arteriosus. It is continued forward as a ventral aorta. You have to put more water. You must immerse your dissection in water. Then only you can see all the parts very nicely. So always the dissection must be done underwater, not with the help of your hand like this way and all. But before you pinning, some time you have to cut it. So what you have started your dissection at the beginning, you cut the lateral side of the body till the pectoral fins. But after that, you have to fix the animal properly in the dissecting table, dissecting a dish where very nice water must be available, and water should be cleaned time to time so as to show all the parts properly. So with this, I conclude by saying that these efferent branchial arteries are very important for the so these arteries are very important. So they are giving blood to the gill lamellae for a purification purpose. Thank you, one and all. So now we have all completed our dissection. We have dissected the heart and afferent branchial arteries and displayed all the parts which are necessary, which are coming under this system. Heart, then ventral aorta, then first afferent branchial artery, second afferent branchial artery, third afferent branchial artery, fourth afferent branchial artery, fifth efferent branchial artery. So these arteries are found in one side. Just like that, here also arteries are present. So there are 5 pairs of efferent branchial arteries which are arising from the ventral aorta, running to the gill lamellae on either side of the pharyngeal region. So you have dissected in a pharyngeal region, pharynx region. Pharyngeal means pharynx region. So these paired efferent branchial arteries transport impure blood for purification to the gills. So here the first efferent branchial artery go to the demibranch, hyoidian demibranch. Second pair of branchial arteries go to the gill lamellae, posterior side of the gill lamellae of the second branchial gill lamellae. The third pairs get into the lamellae of the third branchial arch, and the fourth one also get into the gill lamellae of the fourth gills, and the fifth pair get into the fifth gill pair. So like this way, all the efferent branchial arteries are well displayed after putting the black paper, and here the heart also well established structure. So now we have reached our goal of doing our dissection. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and you. Thanks a lot for your long lasting. So now we have completed our dissection. Thanks a lot.